This meeting is being recorded.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Takshina Namaha Gukarasvandhakaro Vai Rukarastan Nivartakaha Andhakara Nirodhitvat Gururitya Vidiyate. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bhadrangarne Vishnayama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshaviryajatraha Sthirairangai Stuštuvagum Sastanobhi Vishema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastarksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspatirdadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Omiti etadaksharam idam sarvam tasyopavyakyanam bhutam bhavit bhavishyatiti sarvam omkara eva yachanyate trikalatītam tadapi omkara eva. Prajnanam shupratanaihi Sthirachara nikara vyapibir vyapya lokan Bhuktva bhogan stavishtan Punarapi dishanodbhasitan kamajanyan Pitva sarvan viseshan swapiti Madurabhung mayaya bhojayannaha Maya sankhyaturiyam paramamritamajam brahma Yattannatosmi. Yo Vishwatma Vividha Vishayan Prasya Bhogan Stavishtan Paschachanyan Swamati Vibhavan Jyotisha Svena Sukshman Sarvan Etan Punarapishanai Swatmani Stapayitva Hitva Sarvan Viseshan Vigata Gunaganah Patvaso Nasturiyaha. Omiti Edadaksharam Idam Sarvam Tasyobhavyakyanam Vedantartha Sara Sangraha Bhutam Idam Prakarana Chatushtayam Omityetadaksharam Ityadi Arabhyate. The Mandukya Karika comprises of 4 prakaranas. That's why it is called Prakarana Chatushtayam. We saw they are Agama Prakaranam, Vaitatya Prakaranam, Advaita Prakaranam, and finally Alata Shanti Prakaranam. And these 4 chapters are Vedantartha Sara Sangraha Bhutam. The Vedanta are Upanishads which comprises of a subject matter which is about the Sharirin, the indweller of the Sharira. That is why Brahma Sutra is called Shariraka Mimamsa. So Vedanta is the ending portion of Veda, whose subject matter is about you. The subject matter is you. The Sharirin. The earlier portions of Veda are also Pramana, but their subject matter is karma. The action, what to be done, how to be done, so that you can gain certain worldly or otherworldly wants. So the Purva Bhaga is called as Karma Kanda because it is a portion which talks about karma. Karma Kartritantram. Jnanam Vastutantram. The action depends on the type of inclination, disposition of the doer. That's why karma kartritantra. Suppose I ask you to be regular for Mandukya classes. You can be regular because I have told you to be, or you can be irregular because I asked you to be regular. You can sometimes be regular and sometimes be irregular. Or instead of being regular to Mandukya class, you can become regular to, say, Taittiriya class. So, kartum, akartum, anyata va kartum shakyam. You can do it, you need not do it, or you may do it differently. Everything is possible when it comes to karma. There is a choice. It depends on your free will. Whereas, when it comes to jnanam, knowledge, it has to be true to the object of knowledge. Whether you like it or not, the sky is blue, the crow is black. It doesn't depend on your free will. So the revelation has to be true to the nature of the object that you are gaining knowledge of. So there is no ambiguity in what is the knowledge you are gaining. Then only it becomes a knowledge. If there is vagueness, that's not knowledge. Anubhuti, clarity. And to emphasize that is Sara Sangraha Bhutam, the essence, the crux of what is Vedanta, Vedantartha. It is distilled and given in this Prakarana Chatushtayam. Vedantartha Sara Sangraha Bhutam Idam Prakarana Chatushtayam. How does it start? Om iti etadaksharam ityadi. It starts with Om iti etadaksharam. Idagum sarvam. Like that it starts. So it is the essence. Whatever is the truth is alone spoken about. That's why it is Shastra Ekadesha Sambaddham. Generally, even within Vedanta, things like Karya Brahma Upasana and all are spoken about. Chandogya, until the 5th chapter starts, there's a lot of upasanas. Taittiriya also, the first chapter, Sikshavalli, is mostly upasana only. Brihadaranyaka comprises of many upasanas. All these are also part of Vedanta because it is a preparation, which is what was taken up by Vedavyasa in Mahabharata, and he elaborates it in Bhagavad Gita in terms of Karma Yoga, which is nothing but upasana only. Therefore, all Upanishads have both upasanas as well as the Sara, whereas Mandukya doesn't cover a lot of upasanas. It directly jumps into the Swarupa, Abhidhana Abhideya. Omkara Pratika is used as Abhidhana to show the Abhideya Vastu, which is Brahman. Therefore, it is Vedantartha Sara Sangraham. Not only the Upanishad, but the Karika also. Therefore, like I said in the last session, this Upanishad, it is not, even though Vyavahara is, it's a Mandukya Upanishad Bhashyam, this is actually a Mandukya Karika Chatush Prakarana Vyakhyanam. This Prakarana Chatushtayam Vyakhyanam is what he has done. And because the first Prakarana embeds the Agama Veda also in it. So that is also commented on. But Bhashyakara approaches this with a point of view that he is doing a Vyakhyana for Prakarana Chatushtayam. Ityadi Arabhyate. We saw these in the last session. Ataha eva na pratak sambandha videya prayojanani vaktavyani yani eva tu vedante sambandha videya prayojanani tani eva iha bhavitum arhanti tathapi prakarana vyachikyasuna samkshepataha vaktavyani tatra prayojanavat sadhana abhivyanjakatvena abhideya sambaddham shastram paramparyena visishta sambandha abhideya prayojanavat bhavati. Since these four prakaranas are nothing but Sara Sangraha Bhuta of what is there in Upanishad, there is no need to talk about Anubandha Chatushtayam separately. We saw this in the last session. Ataha eva na pratak sambandha abhideya prayojanani vaktavyani. There is no need to separately tell what is the Anubandha Chatushtayam for these. Because whatever is the Anubandha for the Upanishad, the Adhikari, Prayojanam, Sambandha and all that, is applicable for these four prakaranas also. Yani eva tu vedante sambandha videya prayojanani tani eva iha bhavitum arhanti. Suppose you write a synopsis, an abstract of a medical journal essay. That is a big, say, thesis you have written, some 20 pages, of which suppose you write an abstract at the top for half a page or 1 page. So whatever is to be applicable for those 20 pages naturally gets applicable for the synopsis or abstract. Therefore, you don't have to separately give a introduction to the synopsis and then separately for the main body. No. One is enough for both. Similarly, here also, because it is Only a Sarasangra means what? It's same thing, abstract. It's an abstraction of the overall Upanishad. So whatever is the Anubandha Chatushtaya, the qualification, the connection, the benefit, all those we talk about, should be relevant for the Karika also. However, tatapi prakarana vyachikyasuna samkshepatah vaktavyan. So he uses the term vyakya, vachikyasu, sanpratyaya. Vyakhyana, the one who is intending to do a vyakhyana is vyachikyasu. Has to, the one who is doing the vyakhyana has to still give it at least in a concise form, because we are not anyway covering Anubandha in this book text. So it is better we give it, is what he says. Tatra prayojanavat sadhana abhivyanjakatvena abhideya sambaddham shastram paramparyena visishta sambandha videya prayojanavat bhavati. Prayojanavat sadhana abhivyanjakatvam. What is prayojanam here? What is the benefit? Moksha is the benefit of, we saw that in the last class, moksha is the prayojanam. But how is Shastra connected to this prayojana of moksha? Prayojanavat sadhanatvam is there for Shastra. Prayojanam is moksha, but the sadhanam for that moksha is jnanam. Therefore, prayojanavate sadhana abhivyanjakatvena abhideya sambaddham shastram. The abhideya of Shastra is jnanam. Shastram is abhidanam. The abhideyam is that jnanam. And the jnanam is the paramparyena visishta sambandha abhideya prayojanavate. Krama sambandha. Okay, so the visishta adhikari is there. There is a special, the qualified, who is it benefiting? The Shastra. Not everyone. You go and tell this Vedanta to somebody who is, highly engrossed in Vyavahara. I want to earn this, I want to become a big manager, I want to become a big industrialist, and then the person is like fully into it, who's not interested in moksha and all that. It doesn't work for that person. Or even the karma kanda, somebody who wants to go to heaven. I want to somehow get the pleasures of heaven, where there is abundance of wealth, abundance of food, abundance of, luxury. For doing all that, I need to do all this punya and then all this homa, yajna and all that. Now this person is not a adhikari. So there is a different type of adhikari who is needed. That person who has a nishchayatmika buddhi, who has a viveka vairagya, who has already analyzed the world, looked into things, pariksha lokan karma chitan nirveda mayad brahmanaha nasti akritaha kritena tadvijnanartam sagurumeva abhigacchete samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. So the person has already analyzed the futility of the worldly pursuits, the limitations, I would say, not even futility, the limitations of worldly seekings. Whatever you seek are limited in the benefits that they accrue to you. It only makes you seek more and leaves behind a trail of unhappiness. And a person who has analyzed this, who has developed a dispassion, Viveka Vairagya towards, that's what is called Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. What stands the test of time, what doesn't leave behind a trail of unhappiness is what is to be sought. When Yajnavalkya tells his wife in Maitreya Brahmanam that I am going, leaving all this, I want to go and gain that, by gaining which everything else can be gained, or everything else is as though gained. Then his wife asks, what should I do? He says, you keep all this wealth that I have, the pashus and other things. So be happy. Then she asks, will I get what you are seeking by keeping all this wealth and riches? He says, no. Na vittena labhya. By having all this, you can't gain that. Then why do I need this, is what she asks. When you don't need all these, you are looking for something else. What makes you think that I need this? Therefore, that Nishchaya is there, Viveka is there. And that person not only has this Viveka, but also understands it has to be gained through knowledge. The person is very clear that knowledge is what can give me this moksha. That person is the adhikari. Therefore, Visishta, there is a Vishesha adhikari, not a Laukikavadi. And for that adhikari, the prayojanam the person is seeking is moksha. But what is the connection? Pratipadaka Pratibadya Bhava Sambandha or Abhidana Abhideya. And there is a sadhana sadhya sambandha. What is the connection? The jnanam gives you moksha. That is a connection. And what is the connection between Shastra and Jnanam? Shastra is Abhidanam. And the Abhideyam is Jnanam. That is why Abhideya Sambadham Shastram. Prayojanavat sadhana abhivyanjagatvena Abhideya Sambadham Shastram. Parambaryena Visishta Sambandha Abhideya Prayojanavat Bhavati. Therefore, Parambaryena it has the sadhana Anubandha Chatushtayam, because you have the Visishta Adhikari who is come to the Vedanta, you have the Phalam, which is Moksha, you have the Sambandha between Shastra and the Moksha. Therefore, here he says, this Tikakara, Siddhehi Vedanta Shastrasya Sambandhadimatve Prakaranasyapi Tadvatta Siddhihi Ataha Uchyate Tavat Shastram Sambandhabideya Prayojanavati Tatra Brahmaiva Shastrasya Abhideyam Vishayaha. So what is Abhideyam? Brahmaiva. Shastra is revealing what is Brahman. Through what? Through Jiveshwara Aikhya Vakya. Padadvayam is Jiva and Ishvara. Padartadvayam. And then there is a Aikyam. Jiva and Ishvara is one. And that is Brahma. That Brahmaiva Shastrasya Abhideyam Vishaya. Tatswarupa Pratibhadanartham hi Shastram Pravrittam. What is the Brahma Swarupa? Is to reveal it is what? The Vedanta's Lakshya. Tat Pratibhadanasya cha Prayojanam Adhikarini Brahma Vidya Jananam. And what is the Prayojanam? Why does Shastra intend to reveal Brahman? Because Adhikarini Brahma Vidya Jananam. So by Shastra only Brahma Vidya happens. Okay. That is why Pratipadika, Pratipadaka, Pratipadya Sambandham. So Brahma Vidya, the Jnanam of Brahman happens directly through Shastra Pravritti, not after doing some karma. First you learn from Shastra, Brahman is everything. So you are non-separate from Brahman. Then you go and do some meditation. I am non-separate from Brahman. I am non. Then you become Brahman. No. When the Shastra is revealing the vision of Brahman, there itself the Jnanam takes place. Therefore, there is a Pratipadanam for the right Adhikari. The problem is never with the Shastram. It is always with the Adhikari. The preparedness of the learner, Jignasu. That is where Shastra has given Jnanam for so many. And it is always there for us to expose ourselves to. But the Pratibandhaka is with the Adhikari only. The person is not yet ready, then it will take some time until the person gets ready for it. Therefore, Adhikarini Brahma Vidya Jananam. If the person is qualified, then this Jnanam takes place, and the Jnanam takes place through the Shastra. Therefore, Prayojanam Shastra Swarupa Pratipadanasya Prayojanam Adhikarini Brahma Vidya Jananam. Tena Yadyapi Shastrasya Abhideyam Brahmaiva Tena Jasya Pratipadya Pratipadaka Bhavaha Sambandhaha Pratipadya Pratipadaka Bhavaha. So one is the Pratipadakam, the one that expounds. Another is Pratipadyam, that which is expounded, that which is revealed, that which is made understood. So it's a direct knowledge. It is not an indirect knowledge. It's not like there is a heaven. That is another type of knowledge. Shastras tell you about heaven. Heaven is where you don't age. Your indriyas are the sharpest. So all these are descriptions. And then you listen to all this. This is not a direct knowledge. It is an indirect knowledge, whereas Brahmajnanam is direct and Tattvamasi. At this time you are Brahman. It doesn't say you will become Brahman or you are Brahman, now little bit you have less Brahman. So once you listen to Shastra, you will slowly clean it up and then you become a full Brahman. No. With all the impurities, whatever you are seeing, you are Brahman. Everything else is superimposed. And that is the Prayojanam. Brahma Vidyaiva cha Prayojanam. Tayacha asya Janya Janaka Bhavaha Sambandha. One is Janyam, Shastram is Janakam. That Vidya Janakam, not Brahma Janakam. Brahman is there. But Brahma Jnanam, the Vritti, that Vritti which creates that Jnanam in you is created, that Vritti is created by what? Shastra. Therefore, Janya Janaka Bhava Sambandha. Shastrena Vidyayaha Niyatam Janyatvat. Shastrasya eva tad janakatvaditi. Tatapi na kevalam brahma pratipadayidavyameva shastram pravartate. Kintu samsarat viraktodikari tato vimokshayitavyaha iti mokshopaayatvena vidyam abhivyanakti. So the question is the person really interested in jnanam or moksha? Only moksha. Therefore, here Tikakara says, Samsarat Viraktaha Adhikari, the one who has developed a dispassion towards the Jagat. Tataha Vimokshitavyaha iti Mokshopayatvena Vidyam Abhivyanakti. He comes to the Vidya for what purposes? For the purpose of moksha, for freedom, for getting liberated. I don't care whether Shastra liberates or whatever. It's not my passion of Shastra which has brought me here. But what brought me here is because I want freedom. I am not happy being bound. I feel out of place with all this limitation. I inherently feel that I am not where I should be right now. So that freedom is what is sought. But then the person understands the freedom is through jnanam only. And then jnanam becomes the pursuit. So the mumukshu becomes a jignasu. Evam cha mokshasya eva antataha gatva parama prayojanatvam tena cha prayojanena vidyayaha sadhya sadhana bhavas sambandhaha. So the sadhanam is jnanam, the sadhyam is moksham. The means to the end. Vidyayaha eva ukta vidaya tat sadhana. Why? Because praptasya praptihi. You are already free. The only problem is, what is that you don't understand? When I say you are free, you either take yourself as Mr. So-and-so, or your mind, or your general personality like prana and all that. That you take, and then you think, where am I free? Where am I unlimited? I am limited. Now that is where Shastra is coming and telling you, showing you who you are. Therefore, the Vidya makes you free. Vidya can make you free only if avidya is making you bound. If ignorance is the reason for your problem, the solution is knowledge. You were reading some book. This is a standard example. With your glasses on. Newspaper, The Hindu, you are reading. And then coffee comes. Your wife brings coffee. Then you keep your glasses on your head. And then drink coffee, and then you switch on the TV. You watch for 10 minutes. And then you want to continue with The Hindu. You start searching for your glasses. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Now, what separates you from your glasses? There is no distance. There is nothing in between you and your glass. There is only one thing which is in between, which is the ignorance of where are my glasses. It is with you, but I don't see. Wife comes and says, it is with you only. But then you say, no, it is not with me. Where is the glass? See, it's not there. It's not nowhere to be seen. Then she takes your hand and says, look at it, here it is. That is what is called sampradaya. The taking an hand, putting your hand on your head. You are using a methodology to show that the glass is with you. And that is what Shastra is doing. Hey, see, this is what you are. Therefore, vidyaya prayojanaha prayojanena vidyayaha sadhya sadhana bhavaha sambandhaha. The sadhyam, which is this knowledge, moksha, for that the sadhanam is shastram, shastra jnanam. Vidyayaha eva ukta vidhaya tat sadhanatvat. Vidya is the sadhanam for moksha. Brahma vidya rupa sadhana abhivyanjagatvena eva cha shastrasya avideya bhutena brahmana sambandhaha ityatah jnana vyavahitameva shastrasya etadrisha sambandhadimatvam iti abhipretya uktam parambaryena visishta sambandha videya prayojanavat bhavati iti. Abhideya bhutam is shastram. Abhidana bhutam is shastram. Abhideya bhutam is Brahman. Brahma Vidya Rupa Sadhana Abhivyanjagatve. So the Brahma Vidya Sadhanam, whatever we just saw only, is putting it in one full sentence. Brahma Vidya Rupam, in the form of this Brahma Vidya, it is called Brahma Vidya. So this Brahman and all, it just Shastra given name, that's it. Because it is all encompassing. So if you have to give, the name is, it's not that it is called Brahman. Like this is Jesus, this is Muhammad, this is Shiva, this is Vishnu, this is Ganesha, and this is another Brahman. It's not like that. There is no name. It is, that name also is to reveal what is all encompassing, the largest. And the word for it is Brahma because it is unlimitedly large. That's what it is. There's only Vastu. The only thing which is there, you call it Brahma, it's okay. Brahma Vidya Rupa Sadhana Abhivyanjagatve. That Vidya, the one that reveals the oneness, the allness, that is Brahma Vidya. The Vidya which reveals the Brahma. That sadhana abhivanjagatvena eva shastrasya abhideya bhutena brahmana sambandhaha ityadaha. That connection is between, one is the revealer, the other is the revealed. Jnana vyavahitameva shastrasya yadadrisha sambandhadimatvam iti abhipretya. Okay. Prayojana kamaha cha adhikari. Then who is the adhikari, who is the qualified person? Is prayojana kamaha, the one who wants this moksha prayojanam, and for that the person is qualified also. He is the adhikari. Adhikari vishaya sambandha prayojanani eva anubandha chatushtayam iti uchyate abhiyuktahi. The four things are adhikari, vishayam, sambandham, and prayojanam. Vishayam is Brahma Vidya, or Vishayam, prayojanam is moksha, Vishayam is Brahma Vidya, Sambandham is Pratipadaka Pratipadhya Bhava Sambandha, Adhikari is Mokshu. Four are very clear. Tadevam Visishtanubandhavatvat Shastram Yakyayam. Therefore, the Shastram has to be studied. You understand why Shastram? Because why are you studying now? It's very clear, right? Because you want moksha. That at least is clear. That's why you are here, not out of curiosity for what is being taught, obviously not. So you want moksha. So you are an adhikari because you are a mumukshu, wants moksha. You think you have certain qualification. So what is the phalam is moksha. And why Shastram? Because Shastram gives jnanam, the jnanam gives moksha. And when jnanam gives moksha means what? When jnanam is there, moksha is there. So Visishta Sambandha Abhideya. Anubandhavatvat Shastram Vyakyayam Prakaranamapi Tatha Eva Siddham Tadartha Avishkaranarthatvat Nacha Evam Shastra Prakaranayoho Samana Anubandhavatve Prakaranasya Gatarthatvat Anarambhaniyatva Prasangaha Shastra Ekadesha Sambandhatvat Tatkarya Antare Siddhatvat Nahi Sarvopi Vedanta Shastrarte Atra Varnyate Kintu Vedanta Artha Saramatram Samgrihyate. So because any Vedanta text, you should have Anubandha Chatushtaya. Here it hasn't spoken. So why should we study? Because it is incomplete. That can be a question. Therefore, he says, no, it is not full Vedanta here. It is only Saramatram Sangrihita. It is only like essence. It's an abstract. So you don't have to be elaborate when you are doing an abstract. No. So it's okay. It's not a big dosha, is what he says. Mokshasya Brahmatma Vastu Jnanamatra Labhyatvam Chatra Nirniyate. Ataha Prakaranamidam Arambhaniyam. Therefore, you can start. Okay, let's go. We will start. Kim punaha tat prayojanamiti uchyate. What is that prayojanam? Roga artasyaiva roga nivrittau swastata tata dukkatmakasya atmanaha dvaita prapanchopashame swastata advaita bhava prayojanam. I'm running out of charge. Just give me 1 minute. I'll bring the battery.
This meeting is being recorded.
What is the prayojanam? Rogartasya roga nivrittau swasthata iva. Rogena artha. The one who is suffering from roga, a disease, roga nivrittau swasthata. Swastham means one's own swastham, staying with one's health, one's nature. So you are a normal person. Now you are getting a disease. There is an arti. You are struggling with a disease, roga artha. Why? Because a disease has had an advent on you. Roga nivritto swasthata, you reclaim your health back when the roga disease is gone. Okay, means by nature you are not a rogi. Roga comes and goes. It was on you. That's how Bhashyakara gives a drishtanta example of this ajnana nivritti. Like our glass ignorance was there, right? Likewise, he gives an example. Dukkhatmakasya atmanaha dvaita prapancha upashame swasthata advaita bhava prayojanam. This is his hypothesis statement, right? Master statement. What is he saying? Advaita bhava is the prayojanam. The advaita is your swasthata. You are actually advayam. The dvaita prapancha is like a roga on you. It's a disease. But in rogartha, disease comes in between and goes, whereas in this case it is anadi. Dvaita, for an advaita bhava, how can dvaita suddenly come? It can't come. So we say it is anadi. It has been there from the beginning. Whenever there is, if there was a beginning, right? Means there is no beginning basically. Dukkhatmakasya atmanaha dvaita prapancha upashame swasthata. The dvaita prapancha, once it is gone, then there is health. The advaita bhava. What is the connection? Why is he suddenly saying this? Because the question will be, how can knowledge make me free? I am talking of a major problem. I have worldly impact on me. I have so many problems. I am so limited. I have, fight with my children. I have a neighbor with whom I have a problem. I have a boss with whom I have a problem. My body, I have so many pains and aches. My mind, I am very disturbed. For all this, your solution, all you are coming and telling me is just to know something and then you'll be free. Is that even a solution? You can ask. But he says, yes, that is the only solution possible. Because all this is roga. And when the roga nivritti has happened, then your swasthata will be available to you. The question actually is, there are two possibilities. One, it is a sadhya vishaya. The other possibility is a siddha vishaya. What is sadhya or siddha? Your moksha. This moksha we are talking about, right? Is it a siddha vishaya or sadhya vishaya? Sadhya vishaya means to be accomplished. Siddha vishaya means it is already accomplished. So the Purva Pakshi asks a question. It is not directly here, but it's implied. Is it a siddha vishaya or sadhya vishaya? Suppose you say it is sadhya vishaya, it is to be accomplished. Like Swarga, Putra and all that, Putra Kameshti you do. If it is sadhya vishaya, moksha is sadhyam, then it is anityam. Because what comes in time goes away in time. Like Swarga comes in time, it will go away after some time. Friends come in time, go away in time. Relations come in time, go away in time, or we go away, whatever, right? So, whatever happens in time ends in time. Therefore, if it is a sadhya vishaya, then it is not nitya moksha. Now, the other option is it is siddha vishaya already. You are already mukta. If it is already siddha vishaya, then why pursuit? Shastra anartakyam. You don't have to study Shastra. Why do you? Because you are already mukta. So why are you starting all this? I don't need it, right? So anartakyam. Therefore, Bhashyakara says, no, it is sadhya, it is jnana sadhyam. Through knowledge. Actually, you never lost it. It is your nature. You never lost your glasses. It was always there. So it is not sadhya vishaya. In that sense, it is siddha vishaya only because you already have it with you. But it is as though lost because ignorance has distanced it from you, as though distanced it. Therefore, it becomes sadhyam. It is not karma sadhyam, it is jnana sadhyam. Through jnana, it has to be gained. But as a vastu, it is already siddha vastu. Therefore, it is praptasya praptihi. Gain of something which is already gained, which is your own swarupa. That is why roga nivritti. Roga is ignorance here. That's all. No other roga. It's not that you have been Brahman and this roga has made you this jiva. No, 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 no. Going back to the original glory, it's nothing like that. That original glory is the eternal glory. This roga is just a covering. It is ignorance. That's what he says in the next line. Dvaita prapanchasya avidya kritatvat vidyaya tadupashamaha syat iti brahma vidya prakashanaya asya arambha kriyate. The brahma vidya is the upashama create what it's brahma vidya is for the upashama of avidya krita dvaita prapancha. This dvaita prapancha that you are seeing, me and seeing anything is not a problem. I see this cloth is not a problem, but I see that I am different from this cloth. In the reality is the problem. Dvaitadhi bhayam bhavati. Udaramantaram kurute atatasya bhayam bhavati. Bhayam is upalakshanam for all kinds of problem. When there is duality, there is disturbance. And that duality is created because of ignorance, because you don't know what is the truth. You haven't seen it, seen the actual thing. It is avichara siddham. You are taking it to be dual because of anadi vasana. When did I start taking it? Anadikala. There is no explanation for that. Because it is within the maya. Once you come out of it, then only you will see, oh, this is what I was into. Therefore, dvaita prapanchasya vidya kritatvat vidyaya tadupashamaha syat. Ignorance has created, only knowledge releases you from it. Upashamaha. Resolves, settles it. Iti Brahma Vidya Prakashanaya asya arambha kriyate. And he quotes, so one One is to give logic, the other is to get Shruti, Pramana. Just because you and I give some logic doesn't mean that this is correct, no? Therefore, there should be some Pramana. Pramana means some authority which says that. And we attribute the authority to Shruti, at least because it has given this knowledge for thousands and thousands and thousands, for ages. So there is some authority we give to the Shastra, and it says Yatra hi Dvaitam iva bhavati, as though it is dual. Yatra va anyad iva syat, tatra anyaha anyat pashyed, anyonyad dvijaniyat, again va anyad iva, as though, as though. That means in truth it is not. It is only as though there is duality, as though there is another. Anyadiva syat. Yatra tu asya sarvam atmaiva abhut, tat kena kam pasyet, kena kam vijaniyat ityadi shrutibhyaha asyartasya siddhihi. There is a shruti which says sarvatma eva abhut. Sarvam atmaiva abhut. Whatever is here is non-separate from this Atma, because their existence is entirely reliant on this Atma. Anything that you objectify doesn't have an independent existence other than it being the Atma. How we will see that as we explore this. Let's look at Tika. Prayojanavat sadhana vivyanjagatvena videya sambaddham shastram sambandha videya prayojanavaditi uktam adastat tatra kidrisham prayojanam katam cha brahma vidya tat sadhanam. See, I am not going to give explanation for every line of Tika, because then it will become too long. Whatever is essential points we will pick up. Okay, Bhashya is what we already we have Upanishad, and then on that we have Karika. For Karika we have Bhashyam, and for Bhashyam we have Tika. Okay, so it's the fourth level of explanation. We don't have to go into everything, but it gives some important points on Bhashya which we can pick up. Kaya cha pranalikaya shastram sadhanabhivyanjagatvena abideya bhuta brahma sambaddhamiti atra kechidahu. He brings one Purvapaksha. Prayojanam asmat sharirat samuttaya paranjyoti rupa sampadya swena rupena abhinishpattihi tacha upasana rupa brahma vidya sadhanam. Okay, so here he brings one Purvapakshi saying that why are you saying jnanam is what is? Maybe it is an upasana. This whole Omkara, Abhidhana Abhideya, why can't it be taken as upasana? This can be a question. Because just to give you a context, we already saw when as part of the Dhyana Shloka we spoke about it, right? This first Agama Prakarana talks about Om as an Abhidhanam Pratika for Brahma. So Om has three matra and the fourth Turiyam, which is altogether silence. Similarly, Brahman is there as Turiyam, and then the Vakan, dream and deep sleep states are there. Vishwataijasa Prajna. And this from Omkara only, the whole thing is, the Omkara is the cause of the world, Omkara is what the world is, and the three states of experience is the Omkara. Like that, the Omkara is shown as, there is analogy is shown between Omkara and the Jagat, to show that even though there are three states and all that, it is still all one. Om is one. But it is Akara, Ukara, Makara, and A is mapped to something, U is mapped to something, Ma is mapped to something. But still together it is one, and then there is this one Turiya silence, which is also part of Omkara. Therefore, that is how this whole Jagat is, that the Turiya Vastu is what is there in the form of Vakan, in the form of dream, in the form of deep sleep, but it stands beyond all these. It shows that. To reveal that the Turiya the state is untouched by the individual states, but it actually spans all of those. The idea is to reveal that it is all that is here is one Brahman. But then there are people who interpret this in different way. One of the things somebody comes and says that why can't I take it as an upasana? In reality, it is not like that. But for my meditation purposes, to calm my mind, Shastra is giving a upasana saying that think of Omkara to be like this. It is not revealed Turiya or anything. So he says, after you do all this, Paranjoti Rupa Sampadya Swena Rupena Abhinishpati, then that Jyoti Rupa you gain by doing this dhyana. No, it's all that is fantasies. Right? Lot of today also, all these techniques inspire people, no? Sudarshana Kriya and this and that, okay? Like that, this Paranjoti Dhyana. Like, why don't you take Om and then that Omkara you put the Dhyana? We are not against all that. As a sadhanam, Shastra itself talks about. So, in fact, most of these upasanas came from Veda only. There are many upasanas, Pratyak upasana, all that is spoken about in various Upanishads. But you can't reduce everything to upasana. Where there is a revealing text, we can't take that as upasana, because what is the tatparya here, we have to see. What is it? And anyway, the whole Karika talks about the reality. Okay. Therefore, here that Purva is brought in and he dismisses that it is not a upasana section, it is a revealing section. Therefore, Anye Punaha Ahu Vigalita Sarvadvaita Brahmatma Surupena Ihaiva Avasthanam Prayojanam Tasya Vedanta Vakya Janya Jnanabhyasa Prapta Sakshatkara Rupa Eva Brahma Vidyasanam Abhyasa Prapti. Jnana Abhyasa. The moment Abhyasa means repeatedly doing something, like again meditation. Brahma Swarupa Pratibhadana Matrena tu Shastram Abhideya Sambandham Sat Sakshatkara Rupa Vidyadvarena Moksha Prayojanavate iti Upacharyate. It is Aupacharikam only to say that Moksha Prayojanam and all that. It is only Upasana Krama. Santi Apare Abhivadinaha Adunatana Ye Dhyana Rupa Vidya Sadhyam Dehapatanantara Bhavi Moksham Prayojanam Abhyupaninti. So after Dehapatanam, after death you gain. See, these upasanas are all, see, there are two ways we look at upasanas, right? One, when we Vedantis talk about upasana, it is to prepare your mind so that you get ready for this jnana. That upasana, that approach to upasana is good, is fine. But here, Deha Padanantara only. So you do all this meditation, you gain some punya, Visesha punya. Then after death, God will take you to heaven. That is a belief, entirely belief. See, the question is, if here and now moksha is possible, why wait for death? Doesn't make sense, because there is no guarantee, right? Then if you are only going to have some belief system, well, all the best. Okay. Because there is no guarantee. What is the guarantee? Somebody says that you go and get to heaven means what? You are going to just trust that book. That's all. But when there is an option here and now, you can be free. Why would you wait for death? Yes, Santi apare api vadinaha. That's what you have seen. Taihi tu Brahma vyatiriktena swena rupena abhinishpattihi prayojanattvena svikritati visesha. So what does he answer? I think we will see that. Let's just quickly see if we can get the answer in the next line, then we will see. Otherwise, we'll see in the next class. Satsu api evamadishu bahushu vipratipatti bhedeshu sarvesham api etesham samanametati yat sadhana karyatva swikaranam prayojanasya tatha cha mokshasya anityatva prasangaha. So your moksha, which you are saying after death and it comes and all that, has to be limited only. Okay, if you take this as a dhyanam, and after death it is going to give you something that is going to start in time, therefore it will end in time. Whereas here we are talking nitya moksha. Nahi sadhanena kriyamanasya nityatvam kvachit drishtamati. Anything which is achieved in time by doing something is limited only. You go and buy some material and assemble something together, it will be there for some time. Even sun and moon stays for only a limited time, some millions of years, but then they'll be gone. Whereas this is nitya moksha we are talking about, and that can't be gained by this kind of sadhana you are talking about. Ata कीदृशम् अत्र प्रयोजनवत् साधनाभिव्यञ्जकत्वम् अभिप्रेत्य शास्त्रस्य सम्बन्धादिमत्वं वर्ण्यते इति अत्र उच्यते रोगार्थस्य यो रोगनिवृत्तौ. So our moksha is you are nitya mukta, but because like a roga you are infected with this ignorance, ajnanam, and when it is removed, your own nitya mukta swarupa will be available to you and you will be a mukta. So we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.